Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam, and in this video I'm going to be walking around Flowerwood Nursery in southern Alabama, just showing you some different plants, just bouncing around some shade houses and showing you lots of different things in this video. Most of the plants in this video I have single plant videos for, so I'm going to put the name on the screen for what it is, and if I've got a video for it, you can go and find a lot more information on it than I'll be sharing as I go from plant to plant to plant. If it's something that I don't have a video for, maybe I'll stop and spend a little more time on it. I'm going to shoot this, I'm going to use this exact same intro and divide this video into, ever how many I think is appropriate. I don't want these to be more than like maybe 10 minutes a piece. So at that point, I'll just keep breaking it down. So if you're watching part 2 or part 3 or whatever, this will be the exact same intro into it. So let's get started. Right here behind me, there's a big giant group of purple diamond LOROPETALUM, so we'll start right there. All right. I've kind of had the run of this shade house this week. These are all the video setups I've been doing for all the video work I have going on here. Over here on this side, here's those purple diamond LOROPETALUM, and when I say there's some purple diamond LOROPETALUM over here, they really keep going and going and going. I don't know how many this is. It's in the over 1,000 for sure, because they're pot to pot further down. Purple diamond is a very nice variety, and I do have a video for this one on my channel. It'll get about 6 to 8 feet tall. Has the pink frilly flowers a couple times a year. These are in the witch hazel family, so beautiful purple foliage year round, hardy in 7 to 10. Right here are these Empress of China dogwoods that I've shown several times on the channel. Get absolutely covered in flowers in the spring, and then have those red strawberry looking fruit on them later in the year. But you see kind of the volume we're talking about here in how they grow these things. Not a lot in this house that I've been shooting in, which is good. These are 5-gallon ones here, and over there's a big crop of 1 gallons. There's folks over here staking up Encore Azaleas. I showed these tree form Encore Azaleas last year, but these are all 1-gallon ones here, and I'll show you some finished ones later, but a lot of work goes into making these tree form Encores. So I'm walking into the next house here, and this is mostly shade plants under this one. There's a Marvel Mahonia here. I just put up a 2-minute video on this. Keep in mind we're in a nursery here and not a garden center, so we're going to get plants that have just been planted. And then right at the end of that row, a finished group. These are firepower Nandinas. These are the Nandinas that turn red in the winter time. Stay kind of low, maybe 3 by 3. Over here are some FLIRT Nandinas. This is a really nice crop of FLIRT Nandinas. You see the coloration on them. They kind of have this color all season long. All the new growth on it is like that. Right next to those are Obsession Nandinas. A lot of Obsession Nandinas. The scale of this place is really kind of wild. If we come back over here, you can see how many Marvel Mahonia we're talking about. It's in the hundreds and hundreds. More Obsession Nandinas. These are GULFSTREAM Nandinas here. I took out some GULFSTREAM on the side of my house not that long ago and replaced them with Obsessions, and here you can see them next to one another. This is GULFSTREAM Nandina, which has been around for a long time. It's a really nice, compact, growing variety. But look, you can see why I made this jump to these Obsession, how much more colorful they are. And they're like that year-round. And this is a ton of firepower Nandina right here. And in fact, I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on when I get a little further up, because there's so many of them. Okay, so right here we can get this comparison between an old variety and a new variety. Again, this is firepower Nandina, and this is blush pink Nandina. This blush pink is a newer variety. Both of these turn bright red in the winter time. They have the same foliage, same growth habit, same everything, but blush pink has this new growth on it during the season, and it offers something more than just being green during the summertime. This is how it looks during the summer right here. Here's the Florida Sunshine ELLICIUM. This is a gold foliage. This is a native to the southeast, and that's a gold foliage version of it. They've got a bunch of hydrangeas up here in this area. Of course, they're about to start going to sleep now. But they've got here's some endless summer And the rest of this house is blush pink Nandina, so we'll move to the next one. On to the next house. This is actually a stellar ruby magnolia. I'm going to take one of these home, and I'll do a video on it. It may be up before this or slightly after, but I definitely want to show you this magnolia here. This is these touch of gold hollies that I just recently covered. This is a new crop. They were newly potted here. There's some beautiful mountain snow PINKT right here that are trying to bloom down here in along the Gulf Coast in October, but they typically bloom in my area in March. Just tons of these Florida sunshine ELLICIUM, and then we get to Utopia plum yews. I've covered this one pretty thoroughly. A lot of pieces have been picked out of this group, and then they have a massive number of 1 gallons prepared to be potted up right there, and then lots of endless summer hydrangeas. The remontant hydrangeas that bloom over and over again during the summertime, and then this is one called Magical Triumph. I think this is a new introduction that I haven't covered yet. Right there, and then lots and lots. Right here, there's some ELLICIUM right here. This is that red one that I've covered, Miss Scarlet. I shot a video on this one yesterday while I'm down here. I don't know if it'll go up before or after this, but this is a red flowering native ELLICIUM right here called Miss Scarlet. Beautiful plant. Lots and lots of oakleaf hydrangeas here. These are also native to the southeast, and just tons and tons of them. Actually, this particular shade house has a lot of native plants in it. But you can see it just goes on and on with hydrangeas, and then 1 gallon hydrangeas for them to pot up later. We'll move to the next house. Here are some more finished touch of gold hollies here at the beginning of this house. There's a bunch of 1 gallon fall blooming or Camellia SASANQUAs right here. There's a massive number of these Tigra clematis that they're just staking up. These won't be ready until next spring, but I've shown this one. I planted this one at the house. It's got this beautiful multicolor, you know, kind of two-tone purple flower. Oh, there's one back here with a flower on it. Let's look at this. Mine had flowered just continuously right here. This flower's not in the best of shape, but you can see it right there. But it's got several colors blended into it. That plant right there is going to be a big winner. That thing just has bloomed and bloomed at my house. Let's see. There's lots more oakleaf hydrangeas. I mean, really a lot of oakleaf hydrangeas. Then a big giant crop of those Empress of China dogwoods right there. I'm not going to walk into this house, but there's some of those finished Gerber daisies right there. Beautiful crop of these Gerbers that I showed a couple times during the season. But this house is all rooted cuttings. Just massive numbers of rooted cuttings for a lot of the plants that I'm walking you past right now. But it just goes on and on and on and on. And it's just trays and trays after trays of rooted cuttings. There's some, I think, white wedding hydrangeas right over in there that actually have flowers on them in the trays. Just they're 3 inches tall with flowers on them. I'll come over here and look at this massive selection of purple pixie LOROPETALUM that's in this house. Just starting them in these gallon pots. Just an incredible number of them right here. I saw them in here pruning these yesterday, but this is an entire house of purple pixie LOROPETALUM, if you can see that right there. They're all weeping down over the containers. Hopefully you can get some idea from this how far out there this nursery actually goes. You know, all the outdoor things. I'll walk through some of that in just a minute, but I'm going to go through this. This was a trial greenhouse that I was in last year when I was here in December, and it was full of flowering things. They'll bring things in soon to force for show season. The nursery shows are typically in January and February. But this right here is a lime sizzler FIREBUSH. These bloom with kind of orangey flowers from spring until fall. they have gold foliage during the growing season, and they get these berries that turn black. That kind of start off red, and then they get this red fall color. This thing is super, super, super showy. We'll walk through here and take a look at some of the things that are in here. There's actually a lot of rooted cuttings or liners over here to pot up that are being held in this house right now. Here's some touch of gold holly right here. There's some burning love LEUCOTHOE right here. I've covered this plant. There's that Dragon Prince Cryptomeria. I've pretty thoroughly covered that thing. It's a really compact version of dwarf Cryptomeria. They've got some Kaleidoscope Abelia, some Miss Lemon Abelia, still flowering like crazy here in October. They've got 2 new Distilliums. I have shot videos for them while I'm down here. Don't know if they'll be up before or after this, but this is a jewel box right here, and this thing's going to be super, super popular. This is a really tight, compact, growing Distillium that I think is going to be. You're going to see these planted. You're going to see these planted everywhere. Distillium is becoming more and more popular. And this is a great selection that actually Buddy Lee, the inventor of Encore Azaleas, was involved in. There's some lemon lime Nandinas. We didn't see those when we were looking in that Nandina house over there. There's a bunch of baby gem boxwoods there. There's some white wedding hydrangeas, and they're fading now, but it's October and they were blooming up until recently. Keep moving on down this line. There's some regular variegated Lorope right there. There's some Mojo Pittosporum. This is a variegated dwarf Pittosporum. This plant's going to be wildly popular, but it's going to be a little while before it has a lot of availability. This is Diamond Spire Gardenia. You see the upright narrow habit. This one is going to be super, super interesting. Really nice plant. I'm covering it while I'm down here, but it's going to be a while before there's a lot of availability on it because it is a brand new plant. Also a Buddy Lee introduction. There's some more purple pixie right there. Some Jubilation gardenias right there that are still blooming down here on the Gulf Coast in October. And there's some Chef's Choice rosemary right there. That's that low growing rosemary. It actually tastes good. Most of the dwarf rosemaries I never really care for. Going this way, there's really nice soft caress Mahonia right there. That's a really, really nice plant. There's some agapanthus right here that have finished blooming for the season, but they bloom in my yard right up until the beginning of October. There's a spider's web fatsia right here. Looks like maybe he's been in here for a while, but that beautiful variegation on that fatsia right there. Let me move down a little bit further in this house. So thank you very much for watching this Flowerwood nursery tour walk around. I didn't end up doing the whole big nursery up there. The sun came up so much that the camera nothing looks good anymore. Well, it just starts blowing out everything. So, but I don't know how many videos this is going to end up being cut into. So you're going to see this ending and that beginning on each of them. Probably at least 3 or 4 videos that this will be divided into. But I hope you enjoyed, just walking around like this and seeing some different things in a nursery and how they may be, the processes that they're using and the steps that they go through to finish a plant. Some of those pieces that you saw along the way there probably took as much as 3 years almost from a rooted cutting, or from maybe even purchased from an outside source. Some of it was rooted in here. As I was walking around, they were taking lots of cuttings on things, and they can, down here on the Gulf Coast, they can root things this late into the fall and winter very, very successfully. Up there where I'm at, where we have a little tougher winter, our best time to be propagating is in the early summer. So anyway, thank you very much for watching these videos.